Hey everybody, it's Caron. Thank you for joining me on my impromptu stamping video today. I am an independent creative expressions demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I am here tonight to do a quick card. Well, I don't know how quick it is, but anyway, I was feeling very creative, and I really needed to get some cards done. I go through moods like that. Normally, I save my stamping for Fridays when I have more time. But I really was in a creative mood. And so I really had to get a card done tonight. So, not sure why I was in that mood, but when you're in the mood, you go with it and see what happens. So, guys, you know the Stampin' Up catalog went live on 1 June, sorry. I'm military, so I say my dates a little bit different than most people. But anyway, so 1 June, the Stampin' Up catalog, the 2017 catalog went live went live. And so what I'm going to work on tonight is one of the new stamp sets from the catalog. And it is this little Piggy stamp set. I'm trying to find it here on the page. If you have our current catalog, it is on page 48 of the catalog. And it is this cute little guy right here. There's 9 rubber stamps. It's on the clear mount rubber. And I just think he's so absolutely adorable. I don't like pigs. Don't like pigs. But anyway, they're just really cute. And so when I just got them in the mail, I just really had to take a moment to stamp him, and I got him yesterday. So anyway, if you do post comments, because of how my camera is set up, I won't be able to see it. So I will check afterwards, and I will answer all of your questions as soon as I can. So what am I going to do today? I'm going to do a quick little card, and I'll tell you exactly. I haven't even opened the stamp set yet. Sorry, this is item number. I do the clear mount, and it is item number 143922 on page 48 of the catalog. Okay, so let's get started. I have already cut the things that you're going to need for this card is a card base. Today I'm using Blushing Bride. I've already cut and folded. It is an 8.5 sheet of a paper cut at 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4. I will put this aside because we don't need this right now. And I also used piece of this is in the new catalog, the Delightful Daisy Designer Series paper. We won't use this side. We're going to use the floral side. And this piece, it is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And then the last piece that we are going to need is a piece of Whisper White. And this piece is cut at 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. Okay. Like I said, I have not even opened this stamp set yet. This is brand new. So this card is coming to you just as I think it up. I looked on Pinterest today, so I saw a sample of one. I loved it. So, you know, they say one of the truest compliments though is to copy someone. So anyway, this is going to be a somewhat of a case project. Case being copy and share everything, but of course I'm not going to copy everything exactly. Just because I don't do that, but the idea and the design. So here I have the stamp mounted, and I'm using this image right here, You Make Me Happy. One of the things I do is I volunteer with the Soldiers Angels organization, and I signed up to send a card today to a military spouse whose husband is deployed, and it said that she could use a little pick-me-up. So I decided that this little pig is so cute that would do the job 100%. So anyway, let's get started. So I am using Memento Tuxedo Black, and this is the Luxe, and it's for mixed media. And so I'm going to ink up my stamp. When I ink my stamp, I prefer to have the stamp, take the ink pad to the stamp rather than the stamp to the ink pad. For the most part, that's what I prefer, especially if it's a larger image. And so I am definitely inking this guy up. And because I'm stamping it for the first time, I kind of like to stamp it on a, stamp it off just to make sure that it's colored. There's no images, any issues with the image. So I always tend to do that. And besides, now that he's stamped, if it's a great image, what can I do with it? I can go cut it out, I can color it, and I can do something else. So you see, I didn't have enough ink on the image. Actually, I kind of like it that light, so we'll see, because we're going to color him anyway. I even thought about coloring him with pencils, because that's kind of where I've been, my head has been lately, is coloring with pencils and Gamsol. Okay, so one of the things that we're going to do is we're not going to stamp him on the edge. We're going to stamp him a little bit offset. So if you're using the Stampin' Up! Grid paper like I am, you line it up anywhere, and I'm going to start my image at maybe about a 1/2 inch or so. A quarter, yeah, maybe about a 1/2 inch from the edge. Line him up, apply pressure. I count for 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's the image that I have. I think I'm going to turn it over, you guys, because I'm not liking that it's not dark enough for me. So let's try this again. And I'm going to move on to archival ink instead. So I'm going to use the archival. I think I might get a much darker, oh yeah. I'll get a much darker image. So again, line it up on any one of the 1/4 inch marks. Line it up about a 1/2 inch and stamp. One, 2, 3. And sometimes you guys, you might just need to stand up just to make sure that you have really good pressure on your stamp. Oh, much better. Look at that. Much, much better. Okay, so I am going to color my pig. Normally I use my Copic markers, but for today I am going to use our Stampin' Stamp Right, and this I'm going to use Blushing Bride, and for a little, actually, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to use Blushing Bride. And then I will use a little of the Sweet Sugar Plum and try to do a little bit of blending, because I'm going to use that for shadowing under the darker area. So let's get to do a quick coloring. And again, I am not paying a lot of attention to shading and those types of things for right now. I'm just coloring the pig and laying some color down. I know I color kind of funny, don't I? One of the other things that I could have done with the pig is to use my my blender pens and blend out the color a little bit better. But again, like I said, I am just laying down some color right now, just for the purpose of making sure that our little piggy here is colored, and we do a really good job with that. So what I'm going to do now is switch over to the Sweet Sugar Plum, and I am going to highlight some areas, the corners of his mouth, his snout, his ear, under his ear, give a little shadows where you would normally expect to see a little bit of shadowing. And then I'm going to try to blend it out just a little bit, going back in with Stampin' Right in Blushing Bride. Just kind of try to blend that out a little bit. And there you go. And then I'm going to use the black Stampin' Right and give him these little black hooves. Okay, and that's all we're going to do for coloring. I'm not going to do a whole bunch of coloring. Like I mentioned before, I really just wanted to do, I didn't want to focus too much on the coloring. And then last but not least, we're going to color the flower. I'm going to use Berry Burst, one of our new colors. Keep everything kind of sort of in the pink family. Add a little green. I'm going to go with Garden Green. I want that to be a little bit brighter, so I'm going to go in with the Old Olive in here. Not as bright as I thought it was going to be. Anyway, so again, I'm just flying by the seat of my pants here with colors. So what I want to do, I was going to actually, I want to do a little bit of sponging. And so what I'm going to do is I need to cut one of our sponges in quarters because I don't have one for Pear Pizzazz. And I'm going to do a little bit of sponging. But before that, what I'm going to end up doing is masking it off, because I want to make sure that only a certain part of the picture gets colored. So I'm going to mask everything off up here. Make sure that's even. And then I wish I had my a piece of scrap paper. Let me grab a quick piece of scrap paper. Right here. And I'm going to use this to mask the rest of my. And so what I'm going to do is start off the cardstock. I did say this was going to be a simple card, right? And lay down some green for my grass. The more you add, the darker the color it gets. There you go. There we have. We have what looks like there you go. So you see we gave him something to stand on, and then by vice versa to that, now we're going to give him a little bit of a sky, and I'm going to use Soft Sky for that, Stampin' Up Soft Sky. And again, I'm going to do kind of sort of the same thing. I'm going to mask that off, turn this around. I'm not going to do clouds. I'm just going to color, lay down some color. Now, you can use another sponge, but I'm using the same one, just flipping the side. And I'm going to do the same thing. Lay down some blue for my sky. And one of the things that you should remember is when you're doing a little bit of sponging, you can start off of the surface, off of your card that you're stamping on, so that you don't have big splotches of color like that, because you're starting right there. So you start off your card and color in circular motions into the so because I don't really want a straight line, what I'm going to do right now is now that I've removed that, is take the same sponge and kind of soften. And soften my line a little bit. So basically, there you go. Our pig's done. She's stamped. You make me happy. She's standing on the ground. She's got a little bit of sky. And she's pretty cute as is. So before we finish this little card, I am going to add some of our copper trim to our card. Again, I haven't used this either, so bear with me while I open this. Oops. And I am just going to take, this is beautiful. And all I'm going to do is take about, what is this? This was 4.5. So I'm going to take a little bit more than 4.5 inches on there. So we got 4.5 inches. I'm going to go like maybe a 1/4 inch more. Let's go a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go to 5. I'm going to cut this at 5 inches. And all I'm going to do is adhere this little strip right to our card. All right, so that's where that'll go. Using my ATG. Gonna lay this guy down right here. Add a little bit more on this side with my ATG. And then make sure that I wrap this copper trim. Oops, that was kind of dumb, right? Did I put too much? I did. I laid down too much on this side. So let's take this guy up and let's adjust it so that we have enough of our copper trim. That's what happens when you don't measure ahead of time. I think I'm going to cut this again. So obviously I need a little bit more than that. So we're going to cut. Here's what we're going to do. Instead of cutting again, we are just going to lay this guy down there. Do what we got to do to bring it to the back. And then we're going to lay it right down where it needs to be. And now we're going to cut. What is it that they say? Measure twice, cut once. So there we go. Oops. So our little design, she's already done. So what we're going to do right now is we are going to, let me put this out of frame. And I'm going to just attach our designer series paper to our card front. And normally I'm getting to the point where I prefer to use liquid glue these days. And I'll tell you why. I have a problem with lining things up. I mean, I couldn't do a straight line if my life depended on it. So I like that the liquid Tombow gives me a little bit more time to be able to shift and move things the way I need to be. So I'm going to burnish my folds again. And then all I'm going to do is put this guy right here. And she's going to be offset just like this. Now, if you know anything at all about me and my stamping style, she is not done unless there is what? There is a little bit of bling, because I'm all about the bling, right? So, what am I going to do for bling? Well, my new obsession are the Nouveau Drops. Have you heard of the Nouveau Drops? So, with the Nouveau Drops, I am now, and I just bought some of the jewel. I have the crystal effects, but I just purchased the jewel. So I'm going to use my jewel, and I think I'm going to use, that one's a little too strawberry. And this one is rose water. I think I'm going to use rose water. I may use them both. Who knows? And all I'm going to do is a couple of things. And you know that the whole thing about Nouveau Drops is, here we go, you can make your own embellishments, any color that you want, any size that you want. And if you let it sit for just a little bit, I don't think I want to do this other color anymore. No. It's going to get darker up here. There you go. So there you go, guys. And then to finish off the card, I need to cut another piece of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. No, sorry, 4 by 5 1/4, and use that as my inside card. So there you have it, guys. This is our card using this little Piggy stamp set. It was a quick job. It was a simple job, but it answers my need to do a creative project for you for this evening. Thank you guys for stopping by, and please like or leave comments on this video. If you don't have a Stampin' Up demonstrator and you like Stampin' Up products, please feel free to visit my website at sweetsignatures.stampinup.net, or you can email me if you do not have a Stampin' Up demonstrator and would like a catalog. Please email me at sweetsignatures@gmail.com.